surrounded by the love of God. I am 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 embraced by the love of God. I am surrounded by the love of God. Well, hello. Thank you all so much for joining me today in studying the Course in Miracles Workbook for Students. Reading from the original edition here on Thursday, September the 21st of 2023, Lesson 264. I am surrounded by the love of God. And I'm Willie from the Ozarks, forgiveness teacher of the Ozarks. And of anybody who wants to learn about forgiveness and miracle-mindedness, how to be happy even in the face of conflict, or how to eliminate conflict even. I am surrounded by the love of God. Father, you stand before me and behind, beside me, in the place I see myself, and everywhere I go. That's pretty inclusive. Father, you stand before me and behind me, beside me, and in the place I see myself, and everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. You are in all the things I look upon, the sounds I hear, and every hand that reaches for my own. In you, time disappears, and place becomes a meaningless belief. For what surrounds your Son and keeps him safe is love itself. There is no source but this, and nothing is that does not share its holiness, that stands beyond your one creation or without the love which holds all things within itself. Now I'm going to read that sentence again, but I'm going to change it just a tiny bit just for some clarity. There is no source but love, and nothing is that does not share love's holiness, and nothing there is that stands beyond your creation of love. And there's nothing without the love which holds all things within itself. Now I'm going to read it just the way it's printed again. With that being said, there is no source but this. Let's back up one. For what surrounds your Son and keeps him safe is love itself. There is no source but this, and nothing is that does not share its holiness, that stands beyond your one creation or without the love which holds all things within itself. Father, your Son is like yourself. We come to you in your own name today to be at peace within your everlasting love. Your Son is like yourself. We're love beings. My brother, join with me in this today. Join me in what Jesus is saying. I am surrounded by the love of God. Jesus says, my brothers, join with me in this today. And I ask you, brothers, my brothers, join me with this today. And my sisters, my brothers and sisters, join with me in this today. This is salvation's prayer. I am surrounded by the love of God. Must we not join in what will save the world along with us? Must we not join in what will save us and along with all the world? Of course, the way it says it is, must we not join in what will save the world along with us? I am surrounded by the love of God. Salvation's prayer. Wow, isn't that something, that we're surrounded by the love of God and always will be, always have been, and always will be. Regardless of what you believe to the contrary. It's just an imagination that you can set aside. Okay, let's go take a look at our associated reading. What is the body? You know, I sat down and found this feather here. Look at that thing. That's kind of a neat little feather. Can we set it in here? Set it here in my scalp. It looks like a hawk feather. The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of himself from other parts. It is within this fence he thinks he lives, to die as it decays and crumbles. For within this fence he thinks that he is safe from love. Identify with its safety. He regards himself as what his safety is. Identifying with its safety, he regards himself as what his safety is. How else could he be certain he remains within the body, keeping love outside? The body will not stay. Yet this he sees as double safety. For the Son of God's impermanence is proof his fences work and do the task his mind assigns to them. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? Who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? The body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear, where every dream is born. For only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. Made to be fearful must the body serve the purpose given it. But we can change the purpose which the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Though it was made to fence him into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. You will identify with what you think will make you safe. Whatever it may be, you will believe that it is one with you. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. And in the preface of the part 2, he told us to read that every day that we read our lesson for the day, which today is I Am Surrounded by the Love of God, lesson 264. And he said to read it slowly, and I don't know if he used the word contemplatively, but try to make sure that you get enough time to let it soak in. Okay, so I'm reading a little faster than what I would normally read it when I'm in my meditation, but I just want to make sure that we get through it every day, and I want to spend some time on our manual for teachers, which let's turn there now. The purpose of pain, which is in chapter 27, the body and the dream. Section 7, the purpose of pain, which begins in paragraph 54. And while you're turning there, and keep in mind, I am surrounded by the love of God. And let's talk about what on earth is going on today. It's Escapology Day. Escapology. Escapists, people like Houdini, they could get out of enclosures. He was an escapologist. International Banana Festival, and that's in Fulton, Kentucky and South Fulton, Tennessee, where they serve 1 ton of banana pudding today. Those are the Twin Cities, they call them. International Day of Listening. And let's let every day be a day to listen to our brothers and sisters, to our own thoughts, and particularly the thoughts that we share with the Holy Spirit. Those are the ones we really want to listen to. International Day of Peace, World Peace, and Peace One Day. Those are basically day celebrates A Course in Miracles, the book that teaches us how to be at peace. Inside, world peace comes from individual peace. So we do our part by having ourselves be at peace, and then it spills over into the whole world. Miniature Golf Day, or World Miniature Golf Day. National Ask an Atheist Day. National Chai Day. And chai is a Hindi word for tea, derived from the Chinese word cha, which is probably cha, I'm not sure, for tea. So Chai Day. National Farm Safety Day for kids. Be careful, have your kids be careful around the farm, around horses, around cattle, animals. around tractors. Be careful. Always know where your children are. National Myositis Awareness Day, which is a muscle inflammation rare disease. National Pawpaw Day, and we're going to talk about pawpaws in a minute. National Pecan Cookie Day. National Teach Ag Day. Pause the World, and that's a day to celebrate relaxing and enjoying complete silence. Pause the world. And we ought to learn to be quick at pausing when we notice that we're a little upset. We've lost our peace in no matter how minimal you think it is. Stop. Whatever you're doing, stop and ask for help. Nothing more important than pause the world when you realize that you're not peaceful, not happy. World Alzheimer Day and World Gratitude Day. And I would encourage you to stop every hour of the day and find something to be thankful for. That's the way our lessons in Part 2 recommend us doing, is to stop every hour of the day and think about your lesson, which what is today? I am surrounded by the love of God, or I am embraced by the love of God. It's everywhere, and it always protecting me, and I can smile about that and be thankful. World Gratitude Day. Okay, and I said we're going to talk about pawpaws. In the pawpaw, they are the Asinina triloba is the genus and species. And in edible landscaping, they have here, it says here that it says about pawpaws in general, plant trees close to one another for best pollination. Plant 6 foot apart for a hedge-like appearance, or 15 to 20 foot apart to stand alone. If you order a grafted plant, choose a different variety of pawpaw for pollination. Select pawpaw or native pawpaw, which are our seedling varieties, will cross-pollinate each other, or a grafted variety. All pawpaws are hardy to zones 5 through 8. So really good here in the Ozarks and most of the East Coast. From here east, basically, and even further west. And the one I want to talk to you today about is the Shenandoah pawpaw, a real taste treat, a smooth custard texture, just the right balance of fragrance, sweet fruity flavor, and agreeable aftertaste. Large fruit, few seeds, 6% by weight, firmer texture than wild pawpaws, but softer than the other varieties. And so that's what Edible Landscaping had to say about the Shenandoah pawpaw. And it's a Peterson pawpaw, and Neil Peterson, it says that Neil Peterson, he says that the Shenandoah was my first variety. And he's a research scientist that researches pawpaws. It is smooth and mallow, cherinoia-like flavor, most popular with pawpaw newbies. It has been consistent hit at farmers market. The Shenandoah makes good yields, sweet flavor, succulent custard texture, most popular at the D.C. Farmers Market. I imagine that's District of Columbia, probably close to there. Responds well to pruning. And then I also, and so that was, and there's a lot to read about pawpaws on his website, which is petersonpawpaw.com. So I'd encourage you to go there if you want to raise pawpaws. And there's quite a few that are Peterson pawpaws that we'll read about here in Edible Landscaping, but not today. Small, and I found this on Kentucky State University website, kysu.edu. Small tree likes moist soil and understory conditions, but they'll produce more fruit if they're not in the understory. They can use a lot of sunlight. Pawpaws are very nutritious fruit, but they will but they will produce even in the shade. They are a good source of potassium, several essential amino acids, and they also contain significant amounts of riboflavin, niacin, calcium, phosphorus, and zinc. So there's your Shenandoah Pawpaw. All right, now let's go back and take a look at let me get my face right up here in the camera, see how much time we've got. All right, the purpose of pain. Pain demonstrates the body must be real. It is a loud, obscuring voice whose shrieks would silence what the Holy Spirit says and keep His words from your awareness. Pain compels attention, drawing it away from Him and focusing upon itself. Its purpose is the same as pleasure, for they both are means to make the body real. What shares a common purpose is the same. This is the law of purpose which unites all those who share in it within itself. Pleasure and pain are equally unreal because their purpose cannot be achieved. Thus are they means for nothing, for they have a goal without a meaning, and they share the lack of meaning which their purpose has. Now he explains this, that very first sentence. Don't let that escape your notice and remembrance. Pain demonstrates the body must be real. When pain is, signaling, that makes you feel like, okay, the body's real, because that's where the pain's come from. And look what he says about it. And he says that pleasure's similar, because it's identifying that you're real as a body, which he's trying to get us to see that we can have eternal happiness and joy, and doesn't vacillate back and forth, pleasure and pain, which the body does. Sin shifts from pain to pleasure and again to pain, for either witness is the same and carries but one message. You are here within the body, and you can be hurt. Okay, keep that in mind. That's what the body's trying to, and that's what pain and pleasure is telling us. You are here within the body. You are here within this body, and you can be hurt. And remember, our lessons are, I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. You can have pleasure too, but only at the cost of pain. These witnesses are joined by many more. Each one seems different because it has a different name, and so it seems to answer to a different sound. Except for this, the witnesses of sin are all alike. Call pleasure pain, and it will hurt. Call pain a pleasure, and the pain behind the pleasure will be felt no more. Sin's witnesses but shift from name to name as one steps forward and another back. Yet which is foremost makes no difference. Sin's witnesses hear but the call of death. 56. The body, purposeless within itself, holds all your memories and all your hopes. You use its eyes to see, its ears to hear, and let it tell you what it is it feels. It does not know. And that was emphasized in italics. It does not know. The body doesn't know what it feels. It tells you but the names you give it to use when you call forth the witnesses to its reality. You cannot choose among them which are real, for any one you choose is like the rest. This name or that, but nothing more. You choose. You do not make a witness true because you called him by truth's name. The truth is found in him if it is truth he represents, and otherwise he lies. If you should call him by the holy name of God himself, it's still an illusion. Remember, the body is an illusion. It's a fence that we imagine we have built to separate parts of ourselves from other parts. Paragraph 57. God's witness sees no witnesses against the body. Neither does he hearken to the witnesses by other names which speak in other ways for its reality. He knows it is not real, for nothing could contain what you believe it holds within, nor could it tell a part of God himself, what it should feel and what its function is. Yet must he love whatever you hold dear, and for each witness to the body's death, he sends a witness to your life in him, who knows no death. There's always an answer to all of our misguided thoughts. And that's the miracle thought. Each miracle he brings is witness that the body is not real. Its pains and pleasures does he heal alike, for all sin's witnesses do his replace. 58, the miracle makes no distinction in the means by which sin's witnesses are called. It merely proves that what they represent has no effects, and this it proves because its own effects have come to take their place. It matters not the name by which you called your suffering. It is no longer there. The one who brings the miracle perceived them all as one and called by name of fear. The one who brings the miracle perceived them all as one and called them by the name of fear. That's the Holy Spirit. As fear is witness unto death, so is the miracle the witness unto life. It is a witness no one can deny, for it is the effect of life it brings. The dying live, the dead arise, and pain has vanished. Yet a miracle speaks not but for itself, but what it represents. Because love too has symbols in a world of sin. That's the miracle. The miracle forgives because it stands for what is past forgiveness and is true. How foolish and insane it is to think a miracle is bound by laws which it came solely to undo. The laws of sin have different witnesses with different strengths, and they attest to different sufferings. Yet to the one who sends forth miracles to bless the world, a tiny stab of pain, a little worldly pleasure, and the throes of death itself are but a single sound, a call for healing, and a plaintive cry for help within a world of misery. It is their sameness that the miracle attests. It is their sameness that it proves. 60. The laws which call them different are dissolved and shown as powerless. The purpose of a miracle is to accomplish this, and God Himself has guaranteed the strength of miracles for what they witness to. Be witnesses unto the miracle and not the laws of sin. There is no need to suffer any more, but there is need that you be healed, because the suffering of the world has made it deaf to its salvation and deliverance. And the last paragraph, paragraph 61, the resurrection of the world awaits your healing and your happiness, that you may demonstrate the healing of the world. The holy instant will replace all sin if you but carry its effects with you, and no one will elect to suffer more. What better function could you serve than this? Be healed, that you may heal, and suffer not the laws of sin to be applied to you. And truth will be revealed to you who choose to let love's symbol take the place of sin. Be healed, that you may heal. Let me get my face right up in there and check our time. It looks like we're doing good on time. I am surrounded by the love of God. And let's try to do our best we can at bringing that idea to our memory every hour of the day. And find something to be thankful for, to smile about. I am surrounded by the love of God. What is the body? The body is a fence the Son of God imagines He has built to separate parts of Himself from other parts. The body is a dream, the body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. The Son of God extends His hand to reach His brother and to help him walk along the road with Him. Now is body holy, now it's body holy, now it serves to heal the mind. Now is the body holy, now it serves to heal the mind. Love is your safety, fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. I am surrounded by the love of God. I am surrounded surrounded by the love of God. I am 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 surrounded by the love of God. Salvation's prayer. Let's step into the light of the love of God and walk in it and bathe in it and stay in it. I am surrounded. I am embraced by the love of God. I am surrounded by the love of God.